Hello everyone, this video contains the textual part of a poem from Literature Reader New Broadway. Here we are covering some questions from the poem Mother to Son. Question number 1. What kind of a life the mother had? Pick words from the poem that show this. The mother has had a very tough life. She had to struggle to survive. She faced several difficulties and had to go without necessities. However, she never gave up and was still struggling in life. The line that shows this is, "Life for me ain't been no crystal stair." The words that show this are texts splinter, both torn up and going in the dark. See students, this poem is a very simple and very small poem. If you just go through this poem 4 or 5 times, you will by heart this poem. So after learning this poem, you will be find very easy to describe all the words that are described the hardship of the life faced by the mother in this poem. Question number 2. Do you think the mother's lets problems overcome her? Use words and phrases from the poem to illustrate your answer. The mother never lets problems overcome her. She struggled against overwhelming odds and kept going on. The lines that show this are, "But are the time I has been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners, and for I's still going, honey, I's still climbing." Overcome is called to get control on, and overwhelming is called great amount, in a great amount. So the difficulties were coming in a great amount, means lots of difficulties and troubles were coming in mother's life, but mothers never let the problems to control on her. She kept on fighting with each and every kind of difficulties, and the same lesson she was giving to her son. Question number 3. What do the words landing and stairs stand for in the poem? The words landing and stairs stand for the different stages in life. Landing implies a change of course, and stairs stands for the continuous day-to-day happenings in life. So stairs means never ending life. After one stair you will find another, means after one day you will find another day. And stairs landing is called how you are facing the new challenges that are coming in life. So when the mother is going on the different way of the life, means on a new stair, every time she found a new challenge, and she maintained herself to fight with those challenges. Question number 4. Which line shows that there have been days in the mother's life filled with disappointment and hopelessness? The lines that show that there have been days in the mother's life filled with disappointment and hopelessness are, "And places with no carpet on the floor bare, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light." Either of the two lines indicates that she faced deprivation. Deprivation means when you are lacking with something. Here in this poem, the mother is lacking with the basic necessities of life. Why we are not talking or say about the luxurious thing? Because she was not preparing or struggling for getting luxurious thing, because these are the things that add on something that raise the standard of your of the living. Okay, and this poem talks about the troubles, the difficulties, the hardship faced by mother all through her life, from beginning till the end. That's why we can say that the mother has been struggling for acquiring the basic necessities in the means of food, cloth and shelter. Question number 5. Read these lines from the poem and answer the question. Some lines from the poem has been given and we have to answer of some given question from these lines. The lines are, "Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had texts in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor." The first question from these lines is, what is the metaphor in these lines? The answer is, the stairs are a metaphor for life, implying no matter what obstacles one faces in life, one must go on. Metaphor is a type of literary devices that compare the characteristic of one thing with the characteristic of another thing. Here in these lines, stairs are compared with the life. Means like the stairs are never ending. After finishing of one stair, you will find another stair. Same as the life never finishes. After one day, you will definitely find the other day. So whatever the obstacles, whatever the hurdles that are coming in your life, but you have to positively or negatively, anyhow you have to cross those hurdles and the life must go on. Next question is, what kind of a life is being described here? The answer is, a life filled with difficulties and deprivation of a mother is described here. Question number 3, what do tacks, splinters and torn boards stands for? They all stands for obstacles and rough patches in life. Obstacle means day-to-day difficulties, and rough patches is called the ways. Okay, the ways and the solution that anyhow has been taken out, they were not very smooth. They too filled with the troubles. Question number 4, which line suggests deprivation? The answer is, and sometime going in the dark where there ain't been no light. Again, deprivation, I told you, lack of something. So here the line, when I keep on going ahead, but still there is a dark. When I go ahead, I found dark. There was no light. It means there was no solution. Means sometime you find the type of problems in your life that no solution occurs. So this line implies in that type of deprivation. Question number 6, pick words or expressions from the box that can be used to describe the speaker. Now, who is the speaker of this poem? The mother. So we have to find out the expression that are suitable with the personality of mother out of these given expressions. So the words and expressions that can be used to describe the speaker are, first is, she has an underlying spirit. Means she was having inner enthusiasm or inner zeal to accept new challenges and to face the problems. Next is satisfied with the little she has. Means whatever she was having, she was happy and content. She was not hoping to get more luxuries and wealth in her life. Next is has aspirations. Aspiration means when you are hoping to achieve something on the basis of your hard work. Okay, so she was having the type of personality. Next is she was hardworking. Next is she is strong and resilient. Resilient is called flexible. Flexible means you are able to change your personality according to the condition. Means whatever the condition or situation is there, you are able to change your timetable or the way of living the life on the basis of those situations. And the last one is faces challenges and hardships. So the complete poem is talking about the hard and the strong personality of the mother, that how she was able to accept the challenges and hardship all alone throughout of her life. Question number 7. What is the mother's advice to her son? Do you think he shares her determination and her moral strength? Choose the words that show this. The mother's advice to her son is never to give up in life. She tells him how her entire life has been a struggle, but also how she has continued to overcome every obstacle. She encourages him never to stop striving when he is tempted to give up. She warns him that giving up would prove to be tough on him as well. The boy perhaps doesn't share the enthusiasm and determination yet. The lines that show this are, don't you turn back, don't you sit down on the steps, cause you find it's kinder hard, don't you fall now. So here the boy perhaps is going through his teenage. So right now he was not having the kind of enthusiasm and determination his mother was having. But his mother was warning him that if you find any trouble or difficulties in life and you stopped after looking at those difficulties, that maybe the life is going to be more harder for you. Means whenever we find any trouble in the life now, then we skip our decision, we change our decision that it's okay, we are not doing this thing, we will do later on. But how can you say that later on the situation would be easier for you. The same thing mother was making her son understand, that if you find some difficulties, then keep firm on your decision and try to overcome the problems. Don't let it be postponed to the future, because in future the problems can be more harder. Question number 8 from the part Appreciate. Is the poem only about the hardships and challenges faced by a particular individual, or is it a metaphor for the life of any person who wishes to change his or her lot in life? The answer is, it is a metaphor for the life of any person who wishes to change his or her lot in life. It explores the various obstacles that one tends to come across in the difficult journey of life and how these should be faced with courage and resilience. So this poem is a type of inspiration for those persons who are ready to face challenges and difficulties in her life, and at any cost they are not ready to stop, and they need to be very courageous and flexible as well, because whatever the condition is there, you cannot change the condition, you have to change your personality. So if you are having all these qualities, you will definitely get success and will never let down in your life. Question number 9. The poet has used several metaphors in the poem. Find them and write them down. Metaphors is a literary device which is used to compare the characteristics of two things. So here the metaphors used in the poem are: crystal stairs, that is compared with a smooth journey. Text means difficulties. Splinters and boards torn up shows the rough patches in life. No carpet on the floor, it shows no possessions in this poem, means you are possessing or you are owning nothing in this life. A climbing means struggling against odds. Odds is called different type of things, different type of difficulties, different type of situation. So whatever the different kind of situations are coming, you are struggling against them. Lendin's corners means a turning point or a break in the struggle, means when the life is going on the same routine, the same timetable, and suddenly a change or a difference occur, that is called the corner. And dark and no light compared with the deprivation, means when there is no light, means you can find no way. So deprivation means when you are already lacking with something, you cannot get that thing in your life, you have to struggle in your life to get that thing. Last question from the part extension. We have read about the use of imagery by poets. The poet uses sensory images in his or her poetry to fire the reader's imaginations. As you know, the sensory images may be based on sight and color. Visual, smell is olfactory, touch is called tactile, taste is gustatory, movement kinesthetic, and sound is auditory. So read these lines taken from different stories and poems and match them with the kind of sensory images they evoke. Write the name of the images in the space provided. Some lines has been given from different poem and stories. We have to find out that which type of sensory images it rises, and then we have to write the name of that sensory images. The first line is: the smell indeed was so pungent as I opened the front door of my house that I vaguely wondered if something somewhere was burning. So it is raising a very strong smell of something burning. So it is related with the smell. So it will be the sensory image of olfactory. Next is: a thick light dust covered the shelves. At my first touch, this dust began to drift away, disclosing the limp leather covers decorated with the original gold letters and some stripes of material that had bound cardboard covers. Now, what these lines exactly saying? It is talking about a library or a room which had not been used for a very long time, indicated by the fine dust coating on everything. The pages of the books have disintegrated, leaving only the leather covers intact, indicating that the volumes were ancient. Integrated is called Disintegrated is called they were loosed. Okay, means the library was not has not been using for so much time. That's why the condition of the books and the shelves were very dusty, and this is described by these lines, and it is related with the touch. So here we are sensory imaging images that is rising, that is related with the tactile. Next lines are which has its sounds familiar like the roar of trees and crack of branches, common things but nothing so like beating on a box. What is exactly sad in these lines? The loud sound of the wind during a storm. So it is related with sound, and the sensory image appeared through the sound is called auditory. Now next is tossing their hats in a sprightly dance means flowers bobbling in the wind. It is related with the movement, and the sensory images created by the movement is called kinesthetic. Next lines are tumbling through the ocean water after being overtaken by the monstrous wave. Mark unintentionally took a gulp of the briny bitter mass, causing him to cough and gag. Here a man being tossed around in a rough sea on the verge of drowning. So again it is related with the movement, so the sensory image will be kinesthetic here. Next given lines are they laughed until they shook the trees with ha ha ha's and he he's. They laughed with howls and yawls and shrieks. This is a group of people thoroughly enjoying themselves and laughing loudly and heartedly. So here we can listen to the sounding word ha 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 he. So obviously which sensory image will be here? Auditory. Next is, and he felt the warmth of the wrinkled old hands. I know what you mean, said the little old man. It is related with the touch, that is the comforting presence of a kind and wise old man. So it is related with the tactile sensory image. And the last line is the winds play no longer and sings in the leaves. This is described about a storm affecting the trees. Now when the storm comes, then both the sensory images related with the sound and the movement occur. So in this line, kinesthetic and auditory, both sensory images will be here. So with this we have completed the entire textual part of this poem. That's it for now. I'll see you with the next video.